Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Basketball Conference, the ACC Football Podcast. My name's Joey Weaver. He's Mike McDaniel. Mike, week 3 is upon us. You ready to talk about some games?
Favorite night of the week, other than when we do the instant reaction Saturday Night Fever style. This is my favorite show of the week.
We are back, baby. Week 3. We got a full slate of games here. Producer Scott in the house. Scott, how we doing?
Doing well. Muted? Sorry, I was muted there for a second. Doing well. Glad to be here. Looking for some action this week.
There you go. Aren't we all?
Aren't we all? I was about to say, man.
We are live, youtube.com/@the-ACC Football Podcast. It is a couple minutes before 11 o'clock on the East Coast. Got a couple people here with us in the chat already. Appreciate the folks for joining us. Please hit the subscribe button. Hit the like, hit the bell icon. You'll find out when we're going to go live next. We really appreciate the folks for joining us. Looking forward to having a fun show tonight. We are working towards 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're getting closer. Appreciate the folks helping us out. I will say, I don't know if I mentioned this on this show yet, but I mentioned before that I went on a baseball trip a couple weeks ago over Labor Day weekend. I pulled up the TV in the house at the Airbnb, and I just want to let you know that somebody who was previously logged into this TV is now a subscriber to Basketball Conference. That is totally kosher. You're allowed to do that.
Hey.
Nice.
So hopefully they're watching right now. Shout out to them. Thank you for your service.
Hell yeah.
Mike, Scott, do we want to start with a Rhoback Lookback at last week?
Let's do it.
Sure.
Let's do that. Use promo code GOACC20 for 20% off your first order at Rhoback.com. All sorts of wonderful polos, performance wear, leisure wear, hoodies, T-shirts, all sorts of great stuff at Rhoback.com. Check out the game day collection. Most schools in the ACC have something on there. They are super cool. Polos as well as hoodies, I know for sure. So they'll keep you warm as we get into the cool weather. They'll help you look great at work or at church or on the golf course or wherever else you are. So go find it all. Rhoback.com. Once again, use promo code GOACC20 at checkout for 20% off your first order.
Please do.
Rhoback look back at week 2. A couple things that we missed, I think, on the recap. One of the things I wanted to mention is that we talked about kind of what Clemson had a bit of a disjointed effort, to say the least, against Troy. Georgia Tech started out in a pretty disjointed first quarter against Gardner-Webb. Both of those games were impacted by weather. I didn't want to mention that. It wasn't something that we talked about last week, but Clemson and Troy did have like a delay for quite a while. It was over an hour in the second quarter. It might have been close to 2 hours. Georgia Tech, Gardner-Webb, the kickoff was pushed back, I think, about 45 minutes as a pretty nasty thunderstorm rolled through the area. Georgia and Austin Peay also had a delay in there as well for the same cell that kind of worked its way across the Southeast. So just wanted to throw that out there, something that we hadn't really mentioned, but might be meaningful in kind of the way that those games played out in the way that they did.
Thank you, meteorologist Joey. Hey, Cam.
Hey, Cam. Look at him joining us Wednesday night. The other thing I wanted to bring up, something else that we didn't mention, was Cal debuted a new fan section in their stadium. It sounds like the Oakland Raiders fans in the area have felt a little bit abandoned, as the Raiders have left for Las Vegas a couple years ago. And as such, they had nowhere else to go. They no longer have the black hole to go be a part of. So Cal opened up a fan section called the Black Bear section, and they debuted that. That looked like a lot of fun. So shout out to the Bears for bringing that up.
Every single fan in the stadium was in that section.
There were literally dozens of people at that game. No,
is it a requirement to wear black in the Black Bear section?
You'd think so. Wouldn't that be the point?
But their school colors aren't black.
Right. It's tricky.
Okay. Yeah.
Tricky. So we'll see how that all goes. By the way, no criticism. Yeah, go ACC. No criticism to having very few fans at a FCS game like that. I mean, that happens to all of us. Yes. Literally all of us. So it's fine. It's fine. Anything else before we look back at our locks from last week, Mike or Scott?
No, I thought we had a very thorough recap. We definitely didn't miss anything except for the weather. So don't fact check us on a thing, except for the fact that we had somebody from Florida State really #mad online at us because, I'm sorry, Miami. It was a Miami fan, not even a Florida State fan. I'm sorry. It was a Miami fan. Hi, Cam. Cam, we had a Miami fan really #mad online at us because we had a throwaway comment about Miami not covering the 58.5 point spread. And somebody entered the YouTube comments telling us that Miami was working in backups, which we certainly didn't take into account. We thought that they played the starters the entirety of that game against Bethune-Cookman. So,
yeah. And then I saw where it turned into a little bit of a manhood measuring contest between Miami fans and Florida State fans on which team had their fourth stringers in earlier in their games against FCS competition, which
it's classic Florida boy energy.
Oh, I mean, before it used to be which one of us is getting to 7 wins first. So this is we've leveled up.
Bunch of haters, you guys. Guilty as charged.
Guilty as charged. Yeah, guilty as charged.
That's kind of we've never really made a whole lot of bones about that. That's totally fair. Let's look at the locks from last week, Mike. You had Virginia plus the 2.5 against NC State. It went pretty well, and then it didn't go very well, and then it was going really well. And then where's my button here? Hang on, it's somewhere. Nope. Thankfully, you redeemed yourself later. Stanford team total under 12.5. That was correct. I had Illinois Duke under 49.5. Survey says,
Illinois almost got there itself.
Yeah, that game just went completely sideways on Duke, especially after halftime. But there was some shenanigans before halftime too. And then I also had BYU minus the 20.5, which was a little bit squirrely for a while as a man wearing number 47 was trying to work the ball down the field as a quarterback for BYU. But we got there. Producer's pick of the week. Virginia, NC State under 53.5.
Ice cold this year.
Yeah. So all of that leaves us Mike 2-3 on the year. I am 2-2 on the year. Producer's pick of the week 0-2 on the year. Scott, we got to get on the board tonight.
I gotta try.
Let's do it. Let's move on. Let's start working on our preview of week 3. Mike, we got 12 games to preview. We've got Florida State and Louisville on bye weeks this week. So all other 15 ACC teams in action this weekend. We've got our first 2 conference games of the year. We've got 6 power conference out of conference games and 3 FCS matchups. Let's dig into it. We're going to do this kind of in chronological order for the first couple games, and then we'll talk about kind of what Saturday looks like after that. But we do have our first Thursday night action, not counting like the first weekend strangeness.
Yes.
7:30 p.m. Thursday on ESPN. The NC State Wolfpack on the road in Winston-Salem taking on the Wake Forest Steamin' Deeks. NC State, a 6.5 point road favorite, totals 52.5. For road trips, this is really not that far, obviously, from Raleigh to Winston-Salem. I'd imagine there's going to be a decent fan contingent that's even willing to make that trek on a Thursday night, basically. This number does not feel very high. Like I feel like NC State might be solidly decent. Wake might be pretty bad, Mike.
Yeah, they might be. I think it's a low number as well. Now, Wake Forest does have a way of kind of uglying these games up against NC State and being more competitive than they probably should be.
This has been a bit of a house of horrors situation for the Wolfpack as well, going into Winston-Salem, if memory serves.
Yeah, so I can see why it's a shorter total. I'm taking a look at Winsipedia real quick if you want to just vamp for a second.
Total of 52.5 here, too. I'm having issues with Wake Forest's offense and trusting them to score too much. I don't know. I can quickly do the math on the team total here, but I just if Wake is going to have a chance to win this game, I think it's got to be lower scoring. So certainly total wise, I'm leaning towards the under here. I think a bulk of the scoring is probably going to be done by NC State, and it's just a question of kind of where do they stop scoring, and Wake's defense is probably the better side of that team, so they might be able to, like you said, Mike, kind of muddy it up and cause some issues for the Wolfpack offense.
Yeah, Wake won this game last year. NC State has lost 3 of their last 4 trips to Winston-Salem, though, so that's worth noting.
Yep.
With that said, this feels like a different Wake Forest team, doesn't it? It just feels like this is going to be more of a struggle this year.
Yeah.
Now,
Damon Claiborne or nothing on offense.
It's pretty much Damon Claiborne or nothing. NC State, for all of their issues giving up points to UVA last week, a lot of the issues came through the air. So, I mean, will Wake Forest be able to run the ball here consistently enough to keep themselves in the game? Vegas seems to think so. I don't know if Wake Forest has enough of a passing attack here with Robbie Ashford. NC State has got a propensity to give up points, I think, based on what we've seen so far. But I don't know if Wake has enough offensively to really make them pay. I guess that's what we're going to find out. I'm going with NC State laying them on the road in Winston-Salem. I could see this being pretty competitive. I still don't know how good NC State is. Like, I came out of that game last week feeling much better about UVA than I did about NC State. Like, CJ Bailey, I think, is very good, but outside of that, I mean, the defense has issues for sure, even like dating back to the first week against East Carolina. Defense has some issues. NC State's running game, can they rack up the yards here against Wake Forest? I think they probably can. I don't have any sort of opinion on the total. Like, could Wake make this pointsy? I mean, I think if you're making the argument for the over, right, you're thinking that Wake Forest is going to be able to run the ball well. I don't think you're thinking that Robbie Asher is going to throw it all over the yard. I think you're betting, right, on Damon Claiborne having a big night, scoring at least a couple times. 52.5 seems like a lot of points, though, for a team that may not have a passing offense. But then again, NC State's defense has been such a struggle so far. But yeah, give me NC State, and I'm leaning under on this. I don't know if I trust Wake Forest offense enough. Plus, if you're keeping the ball on the ground too here, and your best offense is through your running back, if you limit explosives if you're NC State, then I think you can keep this total under. So yeah, give me the Wolfpack here. It just feels like a different Wake Forest team this year, man. It's a rebuild for sure. So give me the Wolfpack. I think they're in a better spot from a program standpoint.
I agree with that. I mean, NC State in the under for both of us here, Mike. I feel pretty good about it. Again, I think NC State has a good amount of firepower on offense. Again, CJ Bailey, I think he's going to kind of run hot and cold during a single game, basically from drive to drive almost. But those hot stretches are really hard to stop. And so it won't take that many of them, I don't think, here on Thursday night to outscore Wake Forest and win this game. I feel pretty good about it. I'm not quite going to lock it up. If we get to the end of the show and I need something, this could maybe be one of the ones that sneaks in is NC State. But that's laying 6.5 on the road in a weeknight game is not my favorite thing to do if I don't have
short week. Yeah, short week, bad defense. Yeah, we're laying them on the road. Sure.
Yeah. So proceed with caution is what I would recommend. All right, NC State and the under for the both of us Friday or on Thursday night. Let's go to Friday night, 7:00 on the ACC network. The Syracuse Orange taking on the Colgate Gators. What are they? Hang on.
Toothpaste.
They are the Raiders? The Raiders. Wow.
I was going to say the Big Red, but that's Cornell.
Yeah.
That's Cornell.
School.
Don't disrespect Andy.
Yeah. No spread on this. No spread on this. We don't have to make picks here either, but just I hope that Syracuse is able to get up for this game and has enough energy after they ran those really just devastating wind sprints at the end of last week's game.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe Fran Brown needs to come to Blacksburg. I heard that Virginia Tech was tired after their game. I need to run some more wind sprints. So might be your next head coach.
That's another ball of wax right there. Like, I don't know how much you saw on the Twitterverse, but like, it was like Syracuse fans were like, no, Fran Brown knows what he's doing. He's a real one. He's our guy. We love that he made him run sprints on the field. Everybody else from every other walk of life, I'm talking about the ACC network. I'm talking about Barstool. I'm talking about everywhere else. McAfee, all of them. This is ridiculous. This looks dumb. This is embarrassing, childish, whatever. Like, nobody else thought this was cool except for Syracuse fans. So, hey, if it's cool, Syracuse fans, go for it. Love it.
Let them live in their bubble, damn it.
Yeah. Have at it. Yeah, this should be fine. I don't think Colgate's anything special, and this is a nice, easy walkthrough for Syracuse, I think. So, nice, easy win on a Friday night. Here's to hoping for the ACC. Let's move on to Saturday, Mike. As before, we're going to kind of break this up into a couple different groups. First group, kind of this weekend headliners. Some of the out-of-conference games are playing against Power 5 teams, but also, there's a G5 matchup in there that we'll throw in. And it's a pretty obvious one. You'll know when we get to there. We'll talk about the ACC versus G5 games after that, and then we'll hit on a couple more FCS games to wrap it up. Let's start with the weekend headliners. Let's go to ESPN at noon as the number 12 Clemson Tigers are on the road in Atlanta taking on my Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Clemson is only a 2.5-point favorite in this spot, Mike. Total's 51.5. This opened, I mean, you could bet this is like a game of the year thing back in the summer at, I think it was like 9.5 or something. I mean, it maybe was even in double digits. This thing opened, I believe, at 6.5, worked its way down to 3.5. And then when we were prepping for this show, we're seeing on ESPN bet 2.5 for Clemson in this game. Whiteout conditions in effect at Georgia Tech. I know that they are making a huge deal about getting the students all there, there's been a ton of promo content about everybody wear white. This is a rivalry matchup. They have played this game a lot of times. Georgia Tech has the overall series lead, but Clemson's won 9 in a row. The last time Georgia Tech won this game was in 2014. Deshaun Watson blows out his knee late in the first quarter, and Georgia Tech kind of rolls them. That was on the way to the Orange Bowl that year, you'll remember. Mike, when you were working through this, handicapping this matchup, what are you thinking? What are you feeling?
You sent me a tweet from Joe Giglio, right? Or was it Obius? I don't remember who it was.
I think it was Giglio, yeah.
Okay. Where at 6.5, Clemson minus 6.5, it was, let me introduce you to FU, we're still Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
And the picture on social media, the line was circled like minus 6.5.
Mm-hmm. The open versus having
Correct.
Gotten it down to 3.5.
Yeah. So this was Sunday or Monday, whenever. I felt like that was the play. The line is still moving in Georgia Tech's direction. We all watched Clemson last weekend. I get why there is understandable doubt around the Tigers.
Mm-hmm.
But why is this a 2.5-point line? What is the justification? Yeah, little spooky. Obviously, it's a road game. Obviously, Clemson did not play very well against Troy last Saturday. Obviously, Georgia Tech is 2-0 and looking like a formidable opponent here. I would agree. I don't think anybody's sitting here saying they're not. But why is this only 2.5? If this Clemson team that everybody was talking about was going to walk through the ACC, was going to, go 11-1, or they had a win total of 10.5. If that's the Clemson team that everybody thought, are we bailing on that through 2 games? Because they didn't play well against Troy in a letdown look-ahead spot, potentially, which we didn't think about on the last preview. Man, I don't know. My favorite play in this game, Joey, under 51.5. Mm-hmm. I like that a lot. Not quite enough to lock it up, but I'll consider betting that this weekend if it stays around 51. If it skews back up even like 52-ish, 52.5, get that extra point. I do like the under as well. I do like the under. I'm not going to bet. I'm not going to lock it up. I do like it, though. I still think I like Clemson here. I still think I do. Georgia Tech's going to make this a game. I think it's going to be close. But I do think there is a chance, right, that Clemson just plays a lot better. Now, if they don't, this is okay. Clemson's offense more like 2023, less good, like not great, certainly not great. Now we're wondering if it's even good. Then we start having like real existential questions about the state of Clemson now with Garrett Riley. And this is like an existential question game. Where are you at, Clemson, as a program if you lose, especially after what you showed in week 2? Yep. I think Clemson can cover 2.5. I think they win this game by about a touchdown. I'm going to take Clemson. But part of me is almost like you either take Clemson to cover, especially 2.5. This take would have been a lot better if it was like 4.5. You either take Clemson to cover or you take Georgia Tech money line. I think that's kind of the play, which is like a really dumb thing to say with a 2.5 point spread. It felt a lot better if it was like 3 or 4. But
I thought it sounded bold to me, Mike, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it doesn't sound quite as good. It's not like, you really went out on a limb there.
Yeah. We've been looking at this game since the summer, especially. And when you look at the way that Georgia Tech's schedule kind of lines up, I mean, if you win here, this is, very realistic that there's only one game the rest of the way that you're an underdog in. Like, that's with who you play, where you play them, when you play them. Like, you could be favored in 8 of your 9 remaining games. I cannot imagine you'd be favored against Georgia the final week of the year, but everything up until then, you might be. It completely opens the road to Charlotte, opens the road if you want to start talking about the playoff. It's a big deal. Clemson has not looked good in their 2 weeks. They are struggling to run the ball with consistency. Cade Klubnik catching national heat as a bit of a disappointment. Georgia Tech bringing back as much as they do. They played a little bit messy week 1, but they ultimately got a win on the road. They rested Haynes King last week. He's a little bit banged up, but he's going to play here. He'll play probably as much as he possibly can in this game. I look at this. It kind of feels like this is the moment. This is the moment. So you know what? Let's lock it up. Lock it up.
Lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Please.
Clemson minus 2.5.
Yeah. I was waiting for it.
Yeah. Georgia Tech has been a little bit sloppy, at least to start these first couple games. I don't see the offensive line gelling quite as much as they need to against this Clemson defensive front. They're going to empty the bag on the playbook, here trying to pull out all the stops and do whatever they have to do to try to move the ball and score. I just don't know how much of that they'll be able to do over 60 minutes and if they'll be able to do enough. Meanwhile, again, we're talking about a Clemson offense that has disappointed in a way, but as we mentioned, there was some weather weirdness last week. It was a total letdown spot. Looking bad against LSU, that might be a great defense. It very well might be. And there's no shame in looking bad in week 1 against a great defense. It's gotten so popular. It seems like the world is on Georgia Tech in this spot. Again, we've talked about how much this line has come down. It's too popular. Georgia Tech has not won this game in 11 years, and there's a reason why. And nothing would make me happier than for them to win this game by 17. I mean, again, at that point, you're probably the favorite to show up in Charlotte. I mean, if you can go 6-1 in the rest of your ACC games, which is totally in play, but I need to see it. I know that Brent Key, Giant Slayer, the whole thing, I need to see it in this particular spot against this particular opponent. So I will lock up Clemson plus the 2.5. I hope I'm wrong, but logic tells me. I'm with you on the under as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Did you lock the under?
No, I like it though. I might bet it.
Right on the sheet. That was a mistake. Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah, I just the Clemson defensive line against Georgia Tech's front, I think, is something. Now, I will say these are the types of games, right, where Brent Key does pull out all the stops.
Mm-hmm.
They go balls to the wall to try to pull the upset. This is an early season Georgia game for them,
mm-hmm.
right? And
Yep.
I think he has gotten a little bit of a reputation for getting his teams up for games like this and then not paying attention to like a middle of the road conference team. I think that's kind of the reputation he has right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how much of that is just the last two matchups against Georgia. You know, I know there was a win against Miami last year, obviously, that was pretty consequential as well. But I don't know how much of this is like you're just getting the team like ready for a rivalry game against Georgia. But I do think Georgia Tech's going to be ready to play here, and I think it'll be a competitive game. But I'm with you. I think Clemson just has too many playmakers on defense, especially.
Yeah.
I am interested to see if Clemson opens it up a bit more offensively. I don't know. Is Antonio Williams playing here? I meant to look at that because I don't think it makes a great. We do this weekly now.
So I don't the weekly impromptu Antonio Williams update.
Yeah, but like I don't think. Obviously, Antonio Williams being out doesn't excuse the troubles that Clemson has been having offensively, but you'd rather have him than not, especially for a game like this.
Yeah.
So
it sounds like Dabo's playing pretty coy on Antonio Williams.
Yeah, we'll see. TBD.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was something we forgot to mention in the look back that we can talk about at some point. Is we're now getting. Well, it's not really in the look back, but this game it applies. We're now getting pregame injury reports from ACC games, so that's kind
nice.
of fun. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
All right, Clemson in the under for the both of us. I have Clemson locked up. Stranger things have happened. You know, I wouldn't be shocked if Georgia Tech wins this game at all, but that line inside of 3 points. I mean, come on, like, have to. We'll see.
Yeah.
Mike, as I mentioned, it's a whiteout game. They're asking all the fans there to wear white. I'm sure the team will be wearing a whole bunch of white. You might notice that I am wearing my white. This is from section103.com. So if you're looking for something to wear, go there. Go check it out. Use promo code GOACC at checkout for 10% off your first order. They've got all sorts of wonderful things. T-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, hats, polos, things for men, women, children, something for the whole family. They've got a new Welcome to the Flats shirt, by the way, which is like, it's a little bit off-white, but it counts for white for the sake of being in the crowd and all that. It's a really cool looking shirt. Highly recommended. NIL jerseys, all sorts of great things. Anything for the Georgia Tech fan in your life, section103.com. Once again, use promo code GOACC at checkout for 10% off your first order. Appreciate Steven and the gang for their ongoing support of Basketball Conference. Saw that they had a stand out during the tailgating for the Gardner-Webb game, so really cool for them to get out and meet the people. Hopefully you went by and saw them and got some good stuff and are ready for a whiteout game on Saturday. We'll see how that goes.
Good stuff, Steven.
Let's keep moving. We'll kind of keep going in chronological order for Saturday. 3:30 p.m. on ESPN. It is the backyard brawl, Mike. We got Pitt on the road taking on the West Virginia Mountaineers. Pittsburgh, a 6.5-point favorite on the road. Totals 56.5. Did want to mention that this rivalry was reinstated a few years ago. The home team so far has won all 3 matchups. But this is not your Irish Twins West Virginia team. This is quite possibly a very bad West Virginia team. So I feel like this is an accurate, correct team is favored situation. Although rivalry games, Mike, you never really know what kind of weirdness might show up.
Yeah, Pitt's been looking really good. Eli Holstein, Jim Hammett had some tweet about Eli Holstein that was really good. Like, number of touchdown passes he's thrown through the first 2 games of the season. If he throws X amount here against West Virginia, he'll be in like really good company with some Pittsburgh greats at quarterback. West Virginia looked horrible against Ohio last weekend. I mean, they looked bad, and all signs point to laying them with Pitt here.
Yeah.
West Virginia, lock it up.
Hey,
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Please.
Correct team is favored. Pitt is the better team. Pitt has been cruising. Pitt has not played a game of consequence yet.
Yeah.
West Virginia, I agree. West Virginia is not very good, but it's a rivalry game. They always get up for this. It's at home. The fans will be into it and rowdy. I think Pitt's going to have trouble getting separation. I do think Pittsburgh wins the game. Give me West Virginia plus 6.5. Under as well. Under.
Wait, hang on. What did we lock up here?
We locked up West Virginia.
Oh, we're locking up the Mountaineers getting the points.
Locked up the Mountaineers. Yep.
Oh, I misunderstood.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah,
Mike,
West
that's
Virginia.
not what you implied, but okay.
Yeah. I thought we were looking at Pitt. All
Nope.
right.
Nope. West Virginia.
West Virginia did look good. I mean, they whooped Robert Morris, whatever that's worth, in week 1. But yeah, as you mentioned, I mean, they looked bad. They scored 10 points against Ohio. That's my thought, is that if West Virginia has a chance to keep this close, sort of win this game, it's probably Rich Rod, who's, by the way, if you didn't notice, Rich Rodriguez is back in Morgantown. He could definitely get in the lab and cook up some wild stuff on offense, like entirely on the table. But I don't know that he's got enough ingredients to cook with here that are going to help him win this game. So
this should be a bigger spread. Like, West Virginia starting running back got hurt in like the second quarter last week. Mm-hmm. He's out for the year. Pitt should be favored by 8 or 9 here. The fact that they're not gives me some pause. Virginia's tough at home. It defies logic. Pitt is better.
Mm-hmm.
Should win.
It opened at 5.5. It's at 6.5 now.
Opened at 5.5.
I saw it at 7.5 earlier today, so it seems like it's kind of bungeeing back and forth a little bit. So I don't know.
Man. I'm on them. Pitt's better, but West Virginia.
I'm laying them with Pitt here. Again, rivalry game on the road, like it's tough, but inside of a touchdown, I feel pretty good about it. I don't think I'm going to lock it up. I'm not going to dueling lock you here, Mike, but I think Pitt should be substantially better here. I also like the under. I'm not going to lock that up either. I could see a situation where Pitt's offense just really starts to roll. And I mean, they have that capability, but also the Rich Rod offense, scheme stuff that he might cook up as well. Who knows? And Pitt's defense, not quite as stout maybe as they have been in prior years. So I could see a situation where this gets a little bit higher scoring, but I do like the under for the sake of our picks.
Fair enough.
All right, under for both of us. Mike has West Virginia plus the 6.5 locked up. Whoa. Scott?
And I'm on mute. Producers pick of the week under 56.5.
There we go. Are we getting on the board?
I think West Virginia is trash, but I don't think it's going to be high scoring regardless. So under 56.5.
They're bad, but
if we don't get on the board this week, then we might just bag it in for the rest of the year.
No.
Losing too much money.
No, you just keep firing.
Losing too much money.
We got to see how long we can keep that gravy train rolling for.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Producers piss of the week under 56.5. West Virginia.
Yep, the piss of the week right there.
There you go. All right, let's move on. And I believe my notes are correct here, at 4:30 p.m. on the CW.
That's correct.
The number 5.
Hi, Cam.
The number 5 Miami Hurricanes are at home taking on the number 18 South Florida Bulls. Miami, a 17.5 point home favorite here. Totals 57.5. South Florida, of course, coming off of a win in the swamp last week against Florida that really caught everyone's attention except for like one AP voter, apparently.
Oh, God, that was brutal. It's really fun, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
or you just made a mistake and you could just come out and say that, and everybody be like, you know what, it happens.
Yeah. Cam does seem excited to be watching something on the CW these days, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Miami's 6-1 all time against South Florida. The Bulls got one win. I think it was like 15 years ago, something like that. It's been a little bit of time.
Was that during the magical season when they were like top 2?
07 would have maybe. I think it was around there, but maybe not that exact season. Yeah.
Okay.
Winsipedia would know.
Okay. One moment.
But I will say, for a ranked matchup like this, and for South Florida being kind of the team of the week and the hot thing right now in college football, 17 and a hook. Whew. It tells you what Vegas thinks of these two teams.
Yeah. South Florida's been a nice story. They beat the brakes off Boise in the opener.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went into Gainesville and they made DJ Lagway's life hell for 4 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
And I think South Florida is good. I think they have a good team. I think they're a really good team in the American. Obviously, the leader in the clubhouse to win the league.
Mm-hmm.
It's been very nice. I'm laying them with Miami. This has the makings of a letdown spot for South Florida, coming off a huge road win last week. And I do not think that South Florida has the athletes. This is an athletes thing. I don't think South Florida has them. I don't think you can make this happen 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Having
beaten Boise 2 weeks ago.
Right. Like, I do not see it. I don't see it. And Vegas doesn't either. I'm leaning into the line. It is gigantic. The comfortable, easy pick is South Florida to cover because of how they've looked the last 2 weeks. This is classic Vegas. 17 and a hook. Huge spread. Give me Miami. We're laying them at home. I think Miami wins very comfortably here. I think South Florida comes crashing back to earth a little bit. I do think they're still going to have a good season, but I think Miami rolls here. I'm not locking it up because it's such a huge spread, but I will be betting this weekend. I like the Canes here a lot.
Man, yeah. I mean, that is so many points, Mike, and it is very tempting.
It's a lot.
And I realize it opened a little bit lower and it's been bet up, but this just feels like Vegas saying, look, ranked team getting 17 and a half. Like, you can just have 17 and a half points. And it's a little bit too easy. It's just a little bit too easy. I mean, definitely a letdown spot here of sorts for South Florida. I will say this, Cam's in the comments, he can correct me if I'm wrong, but this has the makings of it, like a mini. It's not Miami, Florida State. It's not Florida State, Miami, Florida, whatever. But it's like a mini version of that where you get a lot of guys who played high school football in the same state together and kind of know each other. And there's probably, I don't know if there's necessarily like bad blood, but there's certainly elevated levels of competition and, wanting to get after each other. So I wonder about how that all might play in, but I hate laying 17 and a half, but I think I'm going to do it.
Yep.
I want to take South Florida in the points, but it just feels like, the rent's going to come due here for South Florida, I think, in this game. And, there's been some discussion and some kind of speculation that, like, if you're South Florida with what you already have in the basket, you got the win against Boise, you got the win in the Swamp. You don't need this game at all. Like, nope. If you play well in the next 9 games, go to the AAC championship game and win that, you're 12-1 conference champions, you're in the playoff. Like, it's hard to imagine anyone with a better resume than that. So you could almost just punt this game basically and feel perfectly fine about where your season's going. So that's squarely on the table. Total 57.5. I think I like the over here. I think this could get very pointsy, and Miami might try to put up a number here.
Joining you.
Yeah.
Not Miami that I care, but this has always bothered me. Is South Florida really even in South Florida? Like, that's Tampa, right?
It's in Tampa.
That's like central West Florida.
I don't know how South Florida ended up in Tampa.
Cam, tell me about Florida geography in the comments. Just want to know. All right. Anyway, playing in with Miami,
Florida Atlantic, and Florida International. Like, I don't know.
Thank you. All right. Cam
it's
agrees.
in Tampa.
I was
there you
go. All right. Good to see.
They're what, like 60 miles south in latitude from UCF. They're south of Central Florida. That's about it. Like, so. Anyways, all right. Miami
used to irritate me as a 6th grader when they had that huge game versus Rutgers, and I remember I was like a 12-year-old kid, and I was like, This is not in South Florida. I don't understand why they call themselves this.
Yeah, this is the company I work for literally has a site called West Coast Florida. It's in Tampa. Yeah. Like it's West Florida more than South Florida.
Yeah.
Anyways, Miami in the over for the both of us. Anything else before we move on here?
Looking forward to this next game.
Yeah. 10:30 on the ACC network. The Boston College Eagles on the road. They're on the farm taking on the Stanford Cardinal. Boston College, a 13.5-point road favorite here for a game where the total is 44.5.
Gross.
This is the 5th time that these teams have ever played. Most recently, they had a home and home in 2001 and 2002. The road team has never won, which kind of makes sense when you consider how far anyone's having to travel to play this game. Mike, we would be remiss if we didn't bring up the fact that you locked up Boston College to cover in this game.
On the week 2 recap.
On the recap, that's right. Now you had it at 10.5 there. We're now up to 13.5 as of this recording.
Yeah, that's called a sharp man getting that early.
That's called closing line value.
That's
the
right.
Other direction now.
That's right. Coastal line value.
Coastal line value. Yeah, that's right. Coast to coast. All coast conference.
Are we getting a judge's ruling on? Are we going to accept the 10.5 as a locked
No? You can take my lock off. You can take my lock off. But
are we unlocking? And Dennis?
Well, no, we're not going to lock up 13.5. We're not going to do that. And Dennis 133 knows where the magic's at. Ladies and gentlemen, Stanford team total under. So last week, I locked up Stanford team total under against BYU. That was set to, I believe, 10. What was it? Scroll
12.5.
12.5. Yeah, 12.5.
I made it home, baby. We're $1 richer.
We made it home. I got good news for you guys. Nuke Jacket, I see you. Relock it up. I got some good news. We're going to take a quick look at the Stanford team total on FanDuel.
20. What is this? 29 to.
It's 14.5 on DraftKings.
It's 14.5 on FanDuel as well. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are locking up Stanford team total under 14.5.
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. You better lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Please.
Gross.
I don't care. I'm a sicko. Oh, but there's more. There's more where that comes from later.
All right, so we got Boston College laying almost 2 touchdowns. I'm guessing you want under 44.5. If
that's correct, I would be interested in that. Yes, that is correct.
I'm with. Can I? This just feels like giving away or letting go of easy money if I don't join you on this team total lock. Can I? Can I jump on that too?
Principal, Joey. It's a principal bet. Lock it up.
All right. Stanford team total under 14.5. Lock that up as well.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Please.
I mean, look, Joey, I only have 1 kid. You have 3. We got college to pay for. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People don't just
Stanford
hand out money like this. Yeah. I mean, Stanford. Yeah. I mean, we could send our kid to Stanford. Maybe, football program will be in better shape by then.
I was going to say, if one of my kids is going to Stanford, they got to be smarter than me. But
yeah. just wanted to jump in and say that Stanford released their depth chart for this week, and Branson is still listed as QB1. So I feel more confident about your under 14.5.
Yeah, me too. Me too. If you were smart about this and you've been tailing Stanford team total unders with me, you would have noticed that earlier this week it was at 15.5. So we've lost a point of value. That's just because a lot of people know
this is where the money's at.
That Ben Branson is not going to put this team in the end zone more than twice. And they got a suspect kicking situation.
Yeah.
Where they're rotating multiple guys. Yeah. This is we're feeling good about this, guys.
That 1 point of value on the team total. Don't want it. Don't need it. We're locking it up anyways. We need to get a recording of someone reading a Dr. Seuss book. Because all I keep thinking about with this Stanford offense is unless someone cares a whole lot, nothing's ever going to change. It's not. Wasn't that from those? I forget which book that was from, but
I've got so many in the arsenal in my kid's room, about 30 feet from me.
Bookcase right behind this wall right here.
Yeah. One of them up there. Yeah.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah. Boston College, the under, Stanford team total under 14.5 for the both of us. I will. So let me say this though, from an actual, how this might play out standpoint. Boston College coming off of a brutal road game, a loss to Michigan State. You talk about a letdown situation.
Yeah.
Traveling across the country to play in front of nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is not going to take almost anything for them to not be up for this game. So
yeah,
just be careful there, especially laying 2 touchdowns. I mean, this could easily turn into like 21-13 or something, like relatively squeaky, but yeah, I don't think they have to be all that up to stop the Stanford offense. So
I was much more interested in this game at 10.5, 13.5. I'm like,
yeah. Nuke Jacket with some advanced stats here.
Yeah.
Stanford with 1 offensive touchdown through 2 games.
Yeah.
Big yikes.
20-play drive. Nuke Jacket's follow-up took a 20-play drive to score that 1 touchdown. Yes, it did against Hawaii.
Yeah. Tough scene.
Go to the Big Island.
Yep. Boston College and the under for the both of us. We both have Stanford team total under 14.5 locked up. Also at 10:30, this is on ESPN instead of the ACC network. We might be watching this while we recap these games, but we'll see.
Yeah, we will.
There. The Cal Bears, the Golden are they still the Golden Bears? The Golden Bears, the Bears, whatever they are.
Golden Bears.
They're at home. Yeah, they're at home hosting the Minnesota Golden Gophers. The Gophers.
Yep.
Are they both golden?
Why not?
Am I having a stroke?
They are. They are both golden.
Cal's a 2.5-point home dog here. Totals 42.5.
Woke dogs.
Home dogs?
Woke dogs.
The woke dogs.
Woke dogs.
The liberal agenda or the calgorithm or yeah. Do we have a home field apparel home dog of the week?
Sure we do.
Ooh. We have a home field apparel home bear of the week, it turns out. The black bear section. Use promo code GOACC24 at checkout at homefieldapparel.com for 15% off your first order. All sorts of wonderful vintage apparel, super comfortable shirts, hats, bomber jackets, joggers, pullovers. They got it all at homefieldapparel.com. Anything you need to support your team. The entire ACC is on there except for Stanford.
Come on, Stanford.
Yeah, come on, Stanford. Yeah, go ACC24 checkout, homefieldapparel.com. Go check them out.
Love it.
What do you love in this game? JKS?
I think, but this is probably the best defense he's played.
Oh, 100% it is, yeah. I think
JKS, by the way, we got a pronunciation on that today, and you sent it to me on social media. Jaron Kiave Sangapalutere.
9 out of 10.
Beautiful.
That was very good. Very good. We're learning.
We got to, I agree. We got to clip those together and see how it evolves throughout the year.
I'm going to lay him with Minnesota. I don't think this gets all that high scoring, but it doesn't really have to. To your point, Mike, this is the absolute best defense that JKS has seen by a mile so far, I would say. I mean, if Minnesota wins this game like 17-7 or something, like everything makes sense. Like I get it.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to lay 2.5 with the Gophers, and I'll take under 42.5 too. I think this is a bit of a rock fight situation. Both defenses probably better than both offenses, if I had to guess.
Yeah, in games like that, I prefer to not have the freshman quarterback. That's makes me a little nervous. I'm laying with Minnesota as well, and I'm going to go ahead and lock up the under 42.5.
Hey.
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Please.
Yeah, we're locking that up. I do not think this gets very high scoring. 42.5 is a small total, but Yeah, we're this feels like, I don't know, 23-17.
That gets you there.
Might even be high. That gets you there easily. It
Gets you
there by
yep.
field goal, basically. And, that feels like the highest it could possibly be on paper. This does feel more like 17-14, 17-13. Like, I think we're going to have a late game struggle in moving the ball situation here.
I'll see you Saturday night right here when it's going to be 65-60.
In 8 overtimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking to see. So Minnesota does play at Oregon later this year. I guess that's kind of their only other West Coast road trip. All their other Big Ten games are still there, mainly in the Midwest. They won't go further west than like Nebraska, other than that Oregon game. So just wondering if this could be like a dress rehearsal kind of thing. Like, again, distance that they're traveling, wonder about that. But if they're kind of getting used to it, then maybe it's not as much a problem. I don't know. But yeah, I think we agree here. Minnesota and the under, you've got it locked up even at 42.5. Damn. All yours.
Yep.
All right. Anything else before we move on?
Sorry, got distracted by the YouTube comments. Yes, I'm ready to move on.
Let's move on. We got some G5 games to talk about. These are going to be completely out of order. Frankly, they're going to be in reverse order. We got 3 games. Let's start at 8:00 on ESPN2 as the Duke Blue Devils are on the road in New Orleans, taking on the Tulane Green Wave. Duke, a 1.5 point road dog now, totals 53.5. Yet Duke is an underdog here, which is interesting because they weren't when this opened. This line has moved all the way over to where Tulane is now favored.
Also, I think it depends where you look, because I just looked on DK and they're favored there. So it totally depends.
What are these lines that ESPN Bet is
let's
running out here?
Let's just call it a toss-up. Even money.
Pick them?
Yeah.
I'll take Duke. I think I think this line is coming down probably a little bit of an overreaction to them getting kind of somewhat blown out last week. But again, I think there was some sloppiness. There were some easy to clean up kind of things that they shot themselves in the foot a number of times against Illinois. Don't necessarily think that they will again. Tulane's a good team, but they had a close one last week against South Alabama. They did whip a bad Northwestern team in week 1, but there's a piece of this Tulane offense that I feel like there might be a little bit of fool's gold there of like, oh, well, Jake Retzloff transferred in. He was really good at BYU. He'll be really good there. He transferred in there like 6 weeks ago. Like, he's still very much learning everything. He's learning his teammates' names. He's learning, the playbook, the whole thing. So I think this is a situation where Duke can go in there. Manny Diaz can dial up some stuff. You definitely worry about a letdown spot here for Duke after, kind of stepping in it in your home field against a ranked team in a primetime spot, like all of that. But I think Duke can go in here and get this win. Give me the Blue Devils.
I think Duke's the better team. I do. I just think Duke's better. I think they're a lot better than they showed against Illinois. I thought that game got away from them because of mistakes that they made. Do have Darian Mensah playing against his old team.
Yep.
I think it's worth a little something. That? Yep. And we'll hit it on the Rhoback recap or whatever. Just look back, whatever we're calling it. There's a lot of Rhoback advertising going on because they're a very good partner. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Duke's better. I mean, we didn't get these lines. You would have thought, because of the confusion, you would have thought we got these lines from Bet US, but we did not. So don't need to worry about
great partners. Yeah,
there was one great partner. Give me Duke. Give me the under as well. I'm joining you there.
I'll take the under. I don't feel great about it. I feel like the way that these two teams play, I feel like there could be a lot of potential for significant variance in how many points are scored in this game. I mean, you could end up with something in the 30s. You could end up in like the 70s. So for the sake of making a pick, I'll take the under. But I don't feel very strongly about that at all. I would not recommend betting that.
Do not bet it. Nope. Don't bet this game.
Yeah,
don't bet.
No. It should be fun to watch. You should watch it, but
you should watch it.
We'll watch. Don't have to bet it. Yeah. Duke and the under for the both of us. Let's go back in time to 7 o'clock on the ACC network. Mike, as your Virginia Tech Hokies are at home taking on the Old Dominion Monarchs. The Hokies are a 7.5-point favorite at home. Totals 50.5. Mike, vibes somewhere between toxic and catastrophic right now, I think, in Blacksburg. Every 2 to 3 conversations I've seen are something about getting rid of the head coach. We're starting to have that conversation nationally.
Good.
Really just not going very well in Blacksburg, to say the least.
Good. Old Dominion plus 7.5. Why would I bet Virginia Tech?
7 out of 10 offensive linemen are in treatment. Three out of 10 of those offensive linemen are the only good ones. So
1 out of 3 members of this podcast is going to be in treatment with the way this is going. Maybe 2 out of 3.
It's so bad. I sent a letter to the president of the university's office today in an email.
He did.
Asking him to make some changes.
I can attest. I have the screenshot.
I got to pick in this game.
Producer Scott.
Old Dominion, alt line, minus 2.5.
Scott's on the Monarchs on the field.
They're going to win.
I need air to breathe.
I actually want them to win. Old Dominion to win. It'll make change happen faster. I'm not kidding.
It'll make change happen Sunday if Virginia Tech loses this game. This is the one thing I will say. I think changes if Virginia Tech loses this game, change is happening this weekend. This coaching staff, this will be the last game they ever coach if they lose this game. I will put money behind that. If you want to bet on anything, bet on that.
That's what I just did.
Yep.
Whit Babcock going to show up Monday morning and they're going to change the locks.
Nope.
On his
He's not showing up either. He needs to be gone too.
He'll be gone too. Yep.
I mean, if Brent Pry wants to coach this team for another month, they need to win this game
comfortably. No, I mean, he'll still be coaching the team, but just win it comfortably.
I do think that Virginia Tech wins this game, but you know what I'm not doing? Laying more than a touchdown with the Hokies right now against basically anybody with, and by the way, not to mention a team with a pulse like Old Dominion. Old Dominion. Oh, where is it? Hang on. I had this. I had it. They were, let's see. They gave Indiana some problems a couple weeks ago. Playoff ranked Indiana. That was a 2-touchdown game. Old Dominion hung with them. You're telling me they can't hang with a Virginia Tech team that might be in the process of quitting or might have already quit to some level? Again, all anyone's hearing is how much longer is the head coach going to be around, all that stuff. No way. I think Old Dominion comes in here ready to ruin someone's day. Similar to what we talked about with East Carolina and NC State. I think Old Dominion would love nothing more than to just make an absolute mess of this situation. I don't think that they get it done on the field. I do think the Hokies win a bit of a close one, but I am not laying more than a touchdown with them right now. So give me Old Dominion at least to cover and make it close and interesting and uncomfortable.
You know what Brent Pry is really bad at?
How much time you got?
Winning
1-score games.
Yep.
So I believe he's now 1-13 in 1-score games. If my math's correct.
Doesn't matter.
Does not matter.
What's going to be hilarious is when we show up Saturday night to recap this game and we're talking about how Brent Pry finally won his second 1-score game and it feels like a loss because the hope was that he would just lose.
Can't even please the fan base over the 1-score win because you did against Old Dominion after you quit against Vanderbilt.
Exactly. All right, Old Dominion for the both of us plus the points. Totals 50.5.
Under. Virginia Tech. They're looking for warm bodies on the offensive line. Under.
Yeah, that's true. I'll take the over. I think there's a couple. I mean, for as much as the under was a really popular and successful thing in week 1, it was not nearly as successful and popular in week 2. So a couple of these games are going to have some more points scored. I could see this getting a little bit loose, especially if Virginia Tech does start to feel themselves a little bit in the second half. Like they might just try to roll up some momentum and some feel good here and just kind of let it ride. So
yeah, you gotta and plus you gotta like win by a lot and get the starters rested for Wofford in week 4.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah, Wofford coming to town. Brent Pry struggled with them in year 1. So,
Lord,
feeling good.
Good luck, Brent. All right, last one that we have a spread and a pick for 3:30 on the CBS Sports Network. The SMU Mustangs on the road in, good Lord, Branson. Why are they going to Missouri State?
Why not?
What? This is at Robert W. Plaster Stadium in Springfield, Missouri.
Get
Plastered?
plastered.
That's right. Yeah, there you go. We're all on the same page.
Scott. Nice.
This is the SMU Mustangs and the Missouri State Bears, as it were. SMU is a 27.5-point road favorite, total 61.5. Missouri State made the jump to the FBS. Yeah, right. They made the jump to the FBS, not because they were really dominating the FCS level, but because somebody's really betting on themselves here, I guess, somehow. I don't really know how. They did beat Marshall last week, but that Marshall team is not really even a warm-breathing football team at this point. They lost to USC week 1, 73-13, and I don't think SMU is going to have any issue just absolutely disposing of the Bears in this game. So lay them with SMU, and give me the over. SMU might get all the way there by themselves, especially after coming off the loss last week. I think SMU going to try to feel better about themselves a little bit.
Under, but it's going to be like 45-6 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Give me SMU.
Call off the dogs a little early.
Yeah, I'm
tempted to lock this up. This SMU.
I'm thinking about it too, but I already got several plays here, and it would be irresponsible to bet a 4th.
Yeah. Let's see. I've only got 2. Wouldn't hurt to have a 3rd. Yeah, let's lock up SMU. We're gonna play 27.5 with the Mustangs, but I think they put it on Missouri State here. Lock it up.
Lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Please.
All right, no more. SMU in the over for me. I got SMU locked up. SMU in the under for you, Mike. Anything else before we move on to the FCS games?
Now we can breeze through these.
A couple fun ones. Noon on the ACC network, the Virginia Cavaliers hosting William and Mary, the Tribe, I think they are.
Mm-hmm. They are, indeed.
This is the return of Mike London, by the way. He is the head coach at William and Mary. You want to talk about games that you really, really don't want to screw it up in.
Yeah.
Losing to an FCS team would be bad. Losing to an FCS team with your old head coach that you fired would be just so much worse.
That coach is like 20 minutes away from you.
Yeah. This is a 2-score.
Yeah, half hour.
I also wanted to mention this is a 2-score game 2 years ago. This was 27-13. Virginia won in 2023. So if you're thinking that this couldn't possibly be a close game, it could. It could. I don't think it will, though. I think this is a better Virginia team. I think that they'll be fine here.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think this is too competitive.
Yeah, shouldn't be. Not a great William and Mary team either. So
no,
should be fine. 3:30 on the ACC network, the North Carolina Tar Heels hosting the Richmond Spiders. We did a little bit of digging into the, I guess Bill Conley puts out the full, 768 team SP Plus ratings. North Carolina, back half of the top 100. Richmond, kind of back half of the top 200. So I don't think the Tar Heels have anything to be worried about here. But again, a situation where North Carolina probably wants to be feeling good about themselves coming out of this game, building some momentum. So I would hope to think that they roll, but would not be stunned if we get to like late in the third quarter and it's like, why is this only a 4-point game? We'll see.
I think Richmond is worse than Charlotte, right?
Yeah. Charlotte, yes.
I mean, Charlotte.
Mary?
No. I'm talking Charlotte, the team that Carolina just played last week.
Yeah, and won by
Yeah, not by a lot, but it was like
Barely
21-3, 20-3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be fine.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find that.
Don't read too far into it though. Thinking like Carolina's good or something. We don't need that.
Just to confirm, Richmond is 163 in SP Plus. North Carolina is 81. North Carolina ranked behind Tarleton State, as it turns out. So,
a team that beat Army, who beat Kansas State.
That's right. These are facts.
And Kansas State is now an underdog this weekend at Arizona. So,
ooh,
something.
Kansas State might be running the Florida State Ireland loser challenge year here.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Should be an easy win for North Carolina. We will find out. That's all I got for games. Anything else before we recap our locks?
I have something fun.
Hit me.
We have been discussing what we are going to do about replacing the Bowling Green segment because play the Falcon sound. We got the Falcon sound?
It's in there somewhere. There it is.
There it is. Because Scott Loeffler, he left for the Eagles. Now the Eagles quarterbacks coach.
Brian Van Gorder left for like a high school in Alabama somewhere. I think.
Like Brian Van Gorder is, I don't know what he's doing now. Gas station maybe. Something different. So there's really nothing tying us to Bowling Green anymore. It was a great bit while we had it, multiple years. We kept it going longer than I thought we even could have with Scott Loeffler taking the Bowling Green job. We kept the bit alive. All good bits.
Most of the life of this podcast.
Most of the life of this podcast. It started with Van Gorder. It just got better from there. So
I could tell you where Brian Van Gorder is.
Which gas station?
He's kind of. He's coaching at Gulf Shores High School.
There it is.
He's the defensive coordinator down there in Alabama.
So I wasn't making that up. It is a high school in Alabama. There you go.
There you go. Good for him. So anyway, we had to replace the segment somehow. I came up with a great idea. And, well, I don't know if it's great. We're going to find out. I think it's at least good. It's palatable for the people. And I think it's just in line with how we've been conducting business on this podcast, specifically tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Let me introduce to you the Sickos picks of the week.
Yes.
I don't care. I'm a sicko. Now, let me lay out some ground rules here. The only ground rule is that the pick has to be disgusting. It could be in the ACC. You can save it for the very end of the podcast if you want. You can pick something outside the ACC. And, gentlemen, if you will allow me to get us started this evening. Boys, the Minutemen, not named after me, UMass. It's traveling to Iowa.
Oh, Lord.
The same Iowa team that could not score any touchdowns. They were struggling offensively against Iowa State last weekend, right? Lost a really, really tough game. Lost the Cy-Hawk Trophy. They're laying 35.5 at home against UMass. Can they even score 35 points? So you might be thinking, wow, Mike, are you betting on Iowa team total? In fact, I am not. I'm betting on the UMass team total. UMass team total on FanDuel is 2.5.
What?
The UMass
Can
team
they
total,
kick a field goal?
The UMass team total on FanDuel is 2.5. And boys, my Sickos pick of the week, UMass team total under 2.5 points. They are not scoring a point in this game.
Oh. I started dying because as you started teeing this game up, I saw, as you mentioned, Iowa favored by 35.5. The total in the game is 43.5, i.e., there is an 8-point difference between the spread and the total in this game. That is incredible. I don't know how, this is, this is starting like this is a brand new musician who starts by writing like their absolute peak musical. I don't know. This is Beethoven's Ninth as he like with the first thing he ever does. You can't beat this pick later, is what I'm saying. This is the sickest
a debut. And by the way, just so we're clear, I'm betting this right now.
Team total under 2.5.
You're getting plus 118 on that on FanDuel if you bet it right now. So don't let it waste.
Goodness. My goodness. Okay. Well, I don't know how to possibly beat that. I don't know that I can. I don't know that anyone can.
I had to debut it with that.
Yeah. Sickos pick of the week. I will say there was one game that I was looking at that I thought about, and I'm not going to go with. I'll just throw it out there though for fun. Eastern Michigan on the road in Lexington taking on the Kentucky Wildcats, and Eastern is a 24.5 point dog in that game. Kentucky ain't getting that much separation. Give me the Eagles from Eastern Michigan right there. We've got a sound for that too. No, actual Sickos pick of the week. East Carolina, the Pirates on the road in Conway taking on the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. Eastern Carolina, a 7.5 point favorite in this game. Mike, as we talked about a couple weeks ago, Coastal Carolina, cheeks.
Bad.
Absolute
bad.
cheeks.
They are bad, yeah.
We're laying 7.5 with the Pirates. They will go in there. It's a coastal town, by the way. Pirates love coastal towns. That's just science. Yeah, laying with East Carolina. 7.5, no problem. I'll take it.
Man.
Scott, are you joining us in this ridiculous endeavor?
Well, Mike kind of stole my thunder there with the UMass line. I was looking at DraftKings and I didn't get the luxury of getting that low on the point total. So I've pivoted. I've pivoted over here to the battle of the Lone Star State, you could say. Texas hosting UTEP.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Texas is a 41.5 point favorite that I'm looking at here on DraftKings at the moment. I am taking Texas first half spread minus 24.5 over UTEP.
First half 24 and a hook. All right.
So here we go. Here's your 5 schmeckles on UTEP. Oh, and I forgot my beautiful music.
By the way, I just little peek behind the curtain for the listeners. I floated this idea about 2.5 minutes before we pressed record. So if we can find some discuss, I mean, the hotline bling sound is great. I don't care. I'm a sicko sound is great. If we can find even more sicko sound, we will track it down before the next time we place these picks.
Let us know in the comments what you're thinking. If you want to join in on the fun and have a Sickos pick of the week, please put it in the comments. We'd love to hear about it. I do think that at least for the three of us, we need to have a kind of an agreement of like the panel of judges of what does and does not constitute a Sickos pick. If someone comes with something that's not quite sick enough, we can reject it. I think I'll throw that out there. So
I mean, you're betting on the Battle of the Carolinas in a G6 game. Scott is betting first half with the Longhorns against UTEP in what he called the Battle of the Lone Star State. And I am betting UMass team total under a field goal against Iowa. So I think all three of those we can give the big green checkpoint. We're good.
Yeah. No concerns this week.
None
at all.
None. I think we're good.
I will say I have seen team totals that were that low, but they were like a first half situation or something like that. That is.
Now we're going full game, baby. Full game.
Man. All right. Team total under 2.5 from UMass. East Carolina minus 7.5 against Coastal Carolina for me, and Texas first half minus 24 and a hook for Scott there.
And just a reminder, look, it's not about whether or not you win your Sickos bet, as Andrew Alex once told me. It's about the friends you make along the way.
That's right. So it's about the journey.
It's about the journey. It's about the journey, not the destination.
That's right. That's right. All right, let's recap some locks here, and then we can get out of here and go watch some games. Let's see. I have Clemson -2.5 against Georgia Tech. Mike, you have West Virginia plus a 6.5 in the backyard brawl. Scott has under 56.5 in that game as well. We both have Stanford team total under 14.5 against Boston College. We'll see if the Eagles defense lets us down there. Mike, you have under 42.5 in Cal and Minnesota. And then I have SMU -27.5 against Missouri State. A healthy little slate of locks this week in the ACC. Should be a fun week.
Scott, I really like it. I was just staring at your Texas first half bet. I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
Join me, Michael.
We're firing.
Wednesday night debauchery.
Yep. Get invested in those first half bets on Wednesday. Yeah. Fellas, that's all I got on week 3. Anything else before we get out of here?
Oh, let's go watch some games. Should be live midnight, Saturday night, wrapping up the 2 ACC After Dark games with you all here.
That's right. Yeah, 12:15 Eastern, something like that, Saturday night. We will be here live, youtube.com/@the-ACC Football Podcast. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon. We'll let you know when we're going to go live. We'd love to have you in the comments, talk about the day that was in the ACC, as we've got a whole bunch of games we're going to have to go through. Should be a lot of fun. Would love to have you guys join us then. If you're not able to join us then, you weren't able to join us tonight, YouTube, we are on Apple, we're on Spotify, Amazon, wherever you go find your podcasts, go find us there. Send us an email, basketballconferencepodcast@gmail.com. Been a minute since we got one of those, so hit us up. Mike, Scott, anything else I'm forgetting here?
No, I think we're good.
You want to go watch some games, come back and talk about them Saturday night?
Let's do it.
We have to. We'll see the people then. All right, until then, for Mr. Mike McDaniel, for Mr. Producer Scott, I'm Joey Weaver. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll talk to you again very, very soon. Until then, enjoy the games and go ACC.